we are the type of show that likes to judge the judgers. Do we do judging? Yeah, I think we probably are in the judging community, but we try to be as nice as possible to everybody. But whenever there's power rankings put out, we have to talk about it. And ESPN put out their first NFL power rankings yesterday after week 1 of action. Who do they have on top? Who do they have at the bottom? What are the top 10? Let's get to it right now. Now, the names have never been released on who does this. It's just ESPN's power ranking. So we don't know if this is one person in Connecticut. We don't know if this is an email chain, a group text, but let's go ahead and talk about it. Number 32, they have the New York Jets. Dead last, worst football team we've ever seen. The head coach, nobody knows how he continues to get head coaching gigs, but somehow he's probably going to run Sam Darnold's career right into the turf that they have over there in the Meadowlands. He tried to play, I guess, Le'Veon Bell after Le'Veon Bell had a hurt hamstring. I mean, that is a nightmare, a catastrophe. I assume it's going to end with a lot of controversy, and it's all going to get blown up, and Sam Darnold will have his third head coach or something like that in his very young career. 31, they have the Bengals, which is very interesting to me because we all know the worst cramp in the history of football took them down. Joe Burrow got hot. He would have had the fourth quarter comeback in his first ever game to win. Offensive pass interference. Randy Bullock gets a cramp in both of his calves from what I've been told now. That is impossible to kick a ball through the uprights. He misses. Carolina Panthers at 30. Interesting. Giants at 29. Dolphins at 28. The Jacksonville Jaguars at 27.
Minshew magic, baby.
Right below the Browns.
They stink worse than the Browns, who scored 6 points this past weekend against the Ravens. So that means that they think absolutely nothing of that game 1. It does not matter. Don't even think about it. We got 15 more games to be. They are who they thought we were, or are they absolutely not that, with Joe Dirt getting picks late and Gardner Minshew throwing dimes, only having 1 incompletion. That team was a lot better than I thought they were going to be, and it was obvious that they were a lot better than the Colts thought they were going to be. The Browns at 26. The Lions at 25. All right.
The guys are going to be
pretty good for you, right?
Had the lead in the fourth quarter yet again. Washington football team who had a magical comeback victory against the Philadelphia Eagles after Ron Rivera had to get an IV at halftime due to him battling through chemo right now. That team looked very spectacular in the second half, especially with the amount of adversity they have going on in their team. In the game, they were down 17, and in the building that has been exposed 7 times now and is one big-ass bonfire over there in Washington. The Broncos are at 23. That's a little low, I think. We'll find out as the year rolls on. Chargers at 22. Falcons at 21. Chicago Bears, who Mitchell Trubisky might have figured out how to play football again in the fourth quarter. They're at 20. The Texans are at 19. Didn't really get to see much from them because they were playing against a team that's probably going to be the next dynasty. 18, the Colts somehow. I'll tell you, I hope so. I hope they're at 18, to be honest. I hope so. I mean, a lot can change. Phil Rivers is in a new town, everything like that. But that defense did not look great whenever they were fantastic last year. I mean, there's a lot to talk about and a lot to hate and a lot to hopefully love with that Colts team. If they're at 18, I think a lot of people in the Colts nation would be like, hey, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, 18 sounds good. Sure. 17 Raiders, 16 Eagles who give up a 17-point lead. The Cardinals are at 15. I think they should be higher. The Vikings are at 14. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at 13. I believe they're probably top 5. They're probably top 5 before this whole thing started. And it's funny that the Jaguars, with one big win in week 1, nothing really changes. They stay around the same area. 1 loss to the New Orleans Saints, though. Buccaneers, this team stinks. Drop them out of the top 10. Cowboys are at 12.
Jesus. Horseshit.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. Oh, it's the best. Like, what made you think that the Cowboys are anything other than the Cowboys last year? Now you got to have hope, I guess, that the talent's going to figure it out. All the injuries, they're going to be able to get over it that they had in the first week, and Mike McCarthy's going to be able to figure it out there. They have them ranked above the Buccaneers. Hilarious. They have them ranked above the Cardinals. Hilarious. They have them ranked above any of those teams, I think, other than the Jets. Other than the Jets, I think is a. I mean, who knows what's going to happen?
And the Colts, maybe.
And the Colts, yeah. The fact that they're above the Colts, I think, potentially, very warranted at this point. But aside from that, I'm not sure any of those. The Raiders get a big win. Steelers are at 11. Los Angeles Rams are at 10. Patriots are at 9. Titans are at 8. Bills are at 7. San Francisco 49ers at 6 in the top 5. The hottest quarterback in the NFL right now. Guest on our show yesterday, the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers are at 5. Russell Wilson, Seattle Seahawks at 4. Saints at 3. Ravens at 2. And the number 1 team on ESPN's Power Rankings going into week 2 is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, they got some things wrong, obviously. They always do. I think they troll on purpose for a couple things, but I think I'd probably match up with a lot of those. I don't think there's a lot of complaints there because top 5, top 5. I mean, the 2 through 5, you're like, all right, yeah, any team there.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Although I like the Patriots playing the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday Night Football, just strictly because it's Bill Belichick. That's the only reason why I like them. I think that Seattle Seahawks team is going to be obviously very good. It seems like Russell Wilson's at his best. But everybody else in there, we know nothing about any of these teams. Okay, because it's only week 1 into this thing, but I like bitching about people judging people, so that's why we had this entire segment.